Hey guys, this is Venom coming at you with another build video today, and today we're going to be going over an update to a build that I used to run in Battlegrounds and out in Cyrodiil. Full disclaimer, this is all about damage. So it's all divines, no end pin. We're going to go into the gear sets first. Lightning Staff of the Sergeant, Sharpened Trait, Disease Enchantment. 2-piece health, 3-piece health recovery, 4-piece weapon and spell damage to 5-piece. When you deal damage with a heavy attack, you gain a stack of Sergeant's Focus for 5 seconds, increasing the damage of your heavy attacks by 645 per stack, and occur once every second, stacks up to 4 times. The head, medium Valken Scoria. Divines max magic enchantment. This gives 1487 offensive penetration. Chest is the Sergeant's heavy. Shoulders, Savara skills. This is one of the most underrated sets for PvP in the game. If you haven't tried this set, I would highly recommend giving it a go. 2-piece health, 3-piece stamina, 4-piece magicka, double 4-piece, reduced damage taken by guards, 5-piece. When you deal damage, you cause a burst of Lamia poison that deals poison damage in a 5-meter radius, plus additional poison damage over 6 seconds to all enemies hit. This can occur once every 7 seconds, and it scales off the higher of your weapon and spell damage. We got the light Savaras for the waist, and the rest of it is medium for the hands, legs, and feet. The necklace is Sergeant's Bloodthirsty, weapon and spell damage. We got Oaken Soul, Bloodthirsty, weapon and spell damage. For the skills, you can switch these up if you like. This is just what I have currently on this setup, and I'll explain why I've got these skills. First, we got the Daedric Minefield. It's going to put 5 mines on the ground. It deals magic damage and mobilizes the targets every 2 seconds. They get hit, they're mobilized for 2 seconds. Takes about 3 seconds to arm them. They last for 15 seconds. This is very good for defense if you're fighting against these melee builds, especially like DKs that want to come in and go, root, whip, claw to death. So you could just lay these down, and it kind of gives you a buffer around your guy. So if people are trying to get in close to you, you can deal with them, because this is a range build. We don't have any end pin on this. This is all about playing defensively and maximizing your damage at the same time. So this is a good skill to run. If you don't want to run mines, you can forego that. You can put on something like a ward. Hardened ward is a good choice. But keep in mind that wards are cut in half when you go out into PvP, so these values will be chopped in half. Next is your Execute, Mage's Wrath. It's called down lightning strike, hit an enemy dealing shock damage. If the enemy falls below 20% within 4 seconds, the explosion deals additional shock damage to all nearby enemies. Next is Streak. This is one of the best skills you can run out in PvP for your Stork. This is going to give you mobility. It's going to deal shock damage to enemies. When you do your skill, it stuns them for 3 seconds. Very important, the effect cannot be blocked. It does cost 33% more magicka if you cast it again within 4 seconds. Silver Shards, the next skill. This is one of the morphs. The other one is Silver Leash. It'll pull stuff to you, but this one here actually deals more damage, and it fires an additional bolt at another enemy nearby the initial target for 22% less damage. Next, the Twilight Matriarch. This is your heal and probably greatest annoyance to the build, but unfortunately it's your best heal. Drawbacks to this: if you use an invisibility potion, it will not go invisible. It'll keep flapping in the breeze and tell everybody where you are. And it dies to AoEs on the ground pretty quick. I wish they would give the Sork a better class heal. You can, if you like. There is a heal, Dark Deal. I'm looking for it here. Dark Deal, not my health. You use it as a heal. So this right here gives you stamina and health instantly. Additional stamina over 10 seconds. I find a lot of times I'm very resourceful on my magicka pull anyway, so I don't really need that. But what you'll end up running into is you'll need your stamina. So you can put this on if you like and run this as your heal. It's not bad, but you're not going to be able to heal anybody else. So that's why I run the Twilight instead of this. For your ultimate, I've got Ice Comet. You call down a comet to blast an enemy, dealing frost damage to all enemies in the area, knocking them down. You stun them for 2 seconds. You reduce the movement speed 50% for 6 seconds. After impact, enemies in target area take more frost damage every 1 second for 13 seconds. Some of these skills you can swap out, as I was saying. You could run something, either Crystal Weapon or Crystal Frag, the other morph to this. Both of these are pretty good choices you could run. The reason you want to run at least one dark magic ability so that you benefit from your passives. When you hit an enemy directly with an applied dark magic ability, you can heal. This can occur once every half second and scales off your max health. When you cast a dark magic ability, you grant minor prophecy to you and your group. This will increase your critical ratings by 6%. So it's good to have at least some dark magic ability going off. Just make sure that you put all your passives in for all your class skills for this. I don't have to go over all of them. Just put your passives in. Other skills you could run. Haunting Curse this is a good choice too for PvP. This will explode twice on the target. Once at 3.5 seconds, another at 8.5 seconds. The second one dealing, the same damage. So Hardened Ward is another good choice if you need a ward. Hurricane is a good skill you can also supplement and put in here. This will give you some mobility, some speed. This will increase your movement speed by 15%. It deals some AoE damage around you. It sticks to your body as you move around. Critical Surge is something you could run as well if you need the extra heal. I prefer to run Structured Entropy if I was going to do that for PvP. Anyway, just put your passes in for your skill lines. Destruction Staff under this. Elemental Susceptibility is another skill that I may swap out sometimes. If I'm wanting to run that, I'll replace it in place of Silver Shards. If you're running into really, really tanky people and you want to debuff them, you can do that. It'll reduce the physical and spell resistances by 5,948. It also puts Burning, Chilled, and Concussion status effects. These go off every 7.5 seconds. It's very good to use against Nightblades or anybody that's trying to go into stealth. It'll just pull them out of stealth. Get your pastas for these as well. Light armor, medium armor, and heavy armor passes because we're benefiting from all three. Underneath the Fighters Guild, this is where your Silver Shards can be found, first skill down. You want to make sure that you get your passives here. The Slayer, this will increase your weapon and spell damage 3% for each Fighters Guild ability slotted. And Banish the Wicked will give you 3 ultimate whenever you kill an enemy. It's your Undaunted passives. These will add a little bit more to your guys, give 6% bonus because we're medium, light, and heavy. We got one of each top. And then the Undaunted Command. This will restore 4% of your max health, stamina, and magicka whenever you activate a synergy. Your assault and support skill lines. If you can grab these passives here, grab them. I am a high elf on this build. Again, just grab your passives. We're going to the champion tree. I have Weapons Expert because this is an updated version to the build that I was running. I'll show you this at the end of this video here. I'll put my Battlegrounds video. Keep in mind, in Battlegrounds, champion points are disabled, but proc sets still work. So this champion point setup here is for Cyrodiil. And this is, again, an updated version to the build I was running in the Battlegrounds video. So they've changed some stuff, so I had to adjust. This is Weapons Expert. This is going to be because we're running a hybrid heavy attack build. This is going to increase your damage of your light and heavy attacks 20%. Deadly Aim, this is going to give 6% damage done to single target attacks. This is going to help you hit more with your heavy attacks and some of your skills. Wrathful Strikes gives you 205 weapon and spell damage. And a call Overload. This is going to work with your Savara skills. So when it procs, it puts out a big poison cloud, and everything gets that status effect on it. You kill one thing, and it's kind of like a mini bomber build. It's going to deal 5,185 oblivion damage because everything around it gets hit with that poison. So whenever you kill an enemy under a status effect, they violently explode for a total of 5,185 oblivion damage per stage. Alright, it's 1,037 oblivion damage per stage for a total of 5,185 to all other enemies in a 4-meter radius, and you apply a random status effect to each enemy hit. This effect can occur once every second. So again, this is very good out in Cyrodiil. If you have, hey, the hammer's in and everybody's all piled around the hammer guy, you're going to explode those people at range. You just pop one dude and it kind of just sets off a little mini bomb. It's kind of neat to run. Underneath the red tree, we got Celerity. This is going to help with your movement speed, increasing you by 10%. Strategic Reserve. This gives you health recovery. Gain 30 health recovery for every 10 ultimate you have. Fortified gives you 1731 armor. Balanced Vitality, 1400 health. The green tree, we have Rationer, Liquid Efficiency, Gifted Rider, and Steed's Blessing. So, to tell you just a little bit about the previous build that I was running, and I do sometimes change out my other set for this set depending on if I'm going up against really tanky people. So you want to be able, penetration is key for PvP. So the other set that I used to run before the update is Spinners. And again, this is something else you can run as well. If you want to swap out the heavy attack build, if you don't want to run the Sergeants, I would recommend trying out Spinners. It gives max Magicka, 2-piece, 3-piece, weapon and spell damage for the 4-piece, and then 3,460 offensive penetration for the 5-piece. Very, very good set for PvP. Underneath the character sheet, have a look at it. Got 64 into attribute for the Magicka. For the food, Clockwork Citrus Filet is what I like to run. If you want to run a cheaper version, you can run the Potent Witch Mother's Brew. This will give you increased max health, health recovery, Magicka, and mag recovery. And the Mundus is the Lover. This is going to give you more physical and spell penetration. We are a 5-piece medium armor set. So that's why we're looking at 10,891 penetration, because I've got a sharpened trait and the rest of my stuff to help push the penetration up. The medium armor is going to give you your passive Strit. We'll go back and have a look at it. We'll explain why we're in medium. The video that you're going to see at the end of this, I was actually running light armor, but I had a different Mundus Stone on, so I was just kind of running a slightly different setup. This, again, is adjusted version. But your medium armor passes will give you critical damage and healing, whenever. For each piece of medium armor equipped, the Windwalker gives you recovery. This helps with your sneak, agility, and the most important thing this right here is your movement speed. When you're out in Cyrodiil, if you're trying to run around in light armor, you probably know you're not going to be able to move as fast, and movement is key. That way you're not going to get zerged down by 500 people. You can kind of move around. You put this in combination with Celerity and Steed's Blessing and Streak, and again, you don't have to be running around all with N-Pen on your guy. You can be pretty much a glass cannon, but you can avoid damage because you're going to have stuff to keep stuff off of you if people want to try to come up and smack you down with their, root whip claw or whatever else, or a two-hander, whatever they want to run. You can streak. Important thing about your skill rotation, we'll talk about that. When I was talking about a minute ago about the unblockable streak, if you So if you throw your Ice Comet and you streak at your target, it's an unblockable stun. So they're not going to be able to block the impact of the Ice Comet. So what I like to do, Mage's Wrath, it lasts for 4 seconds. I will preload a person with Mage's Wrath. Then I will throw the Ice Comet and then streak behind it. And then they can't block the Ice Comet, so it deals that to them, plus the streak damage, and this is still stuck on their body, and then that triggers at the same time. So you get all three to instantly hit a person. The Silver Shards is a spammable that I like to run. So as you're dealing your heavy attack, hit this skill and it will fire at the end of your heavy. And you can just weave it into your heavy attacks. Keep in mind it does cost stamina. I think that's pretty much about it. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. I'm going to post the Battlegrounds. I went 76-1 running a version of this build. The only difference was I was in light armor running spinners. Update occurred, so I made some adjustments. This build right here is excellent as well. I would recommend giving it a go if you want to try out the other build. Again, you could just swap out your sergeants for spinners. And I hope you enjoy. So if you do, like, follow, and subscribe, and I'll try to get back to you guys with another one later. So before you guys take a look at the video, I just want to let you know that I'm not really that type of person that just runs around and tries to get as many kills as possible every single match. I am a very objective-based type player, but I did want to run a test in this instance to see what was the maximum amount of kills that could be had in a single Battlegrounds match. So I figured that Chaos Ball would probably be the game mode to try to do that in. Because if it's team deathmatch, you're just gonna get the kills and it's gonna be over with. I needed something that would last for a while to see what was possible. So I wasn't worried about objective based in this particular match because I was doing a test. Also, some other things I'd like to share as well. Battlegrounds has an MMR, your matchmaking rating, and it is character based. It's not account based. If you have a character that has not played ever in Battlegrounds, they're going to have a fresh MMR, and when you queue, you're probably going to get random people. If you have a character, like this is my main, for example, you're going to get a very, very sweaty lobby. You're going to have the highest, rated players that you're only ever going to see every single match. Also, if you're looking to obtain your motifs, now I didn't understand this in the beginning. I was wondering why I can never seem to complete the motifs from out here. That's also based on a fresh character. So if you're struggling to get your motifs, switch to a different tune that hasn't played Battlegrounds ever, and then try to, finish in the top, and you're probably going to get a motif drop finally. So I hope that also helps you. Anyway, you guys enjoy the video, and we'll get back to you with another one later.